got fitted Japan.
I'm all about my business, but I ain't got no briefcase. Yeah, all I got's some whiskey. Open now the whiskey, bring it to you. Yeah, I'm leaning up against the door, and my feet are to the floor, and we're messing on the go. Yeah, I've been in before. I'm a broken man, needing immediate lands. I'm all about my business.
What's up, faders? Welcome to yet another action-packed episode of Got Faded Japan, and I am your host, Johnny.
And I'm your co-host, Tom Tokyo. I'm back for more.
That's right. And as you fine folks know, Got Faded Japan is about two dudes, booze.
And in the news, and I think we're doing spooky this time because it's Halloween.
That's right. We're doing spooky stories this time. And faders, let's see. This is episode number 578.
Yes.
Okay, that's correct. All right. Awesome, Tom. All right, Tommy. And welcome back to the show, man. We missed you. And how are you doing in this all Halloween season?
Right now, I'm all right, man. It's like, I think some birthdays are coming up, though.
Yeah, your son's got a birthday on the 28th. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like day after yours, man. That's wild, isn't it?
It is pretty wild, man. I can't believe it's my birthday again, dude. Another year goes by. What have I done? Actually, quite a bit. But, oh, man, this next year, oh, God, I've got so many projects lined up. I'm looking forward to it, but not looking forward to it. But one thing that I am looking forward to is podcasting with you tonight, man, because we've got a lot of crazy stuff on our plate. Tom, what are we going to do in this episode of Got Faded Japan?
Well, actually, since getting in the Halloween spirit, I believe we're going to tell some spooky stories about Japan.
Ooh, that's right. So, faders.
Yeah.
Yes. So, faders, Tom gathered 3 spooky stories about Japan. Now, Tom, are these traditional stories or ancient stories, or what kind of stories are these?
I've got a couple from personal experience, and I've got one that actually is about a friend. It's about a spooky place.
Really? Okay. So
we visit in Japan.
Okay, so I thought you were going to do like 3 traditional like stories, so, you know, like kind of like a Goldilocks kind of story, or a story about like leprechauns or something like that.
No, you actually asked me because I brought this up, but like one of them was like you wanted me to bring like a story about like spooky places that we never, because I think you asked me about this like a while ago. And we never got around to due to scheduling conflicts and just stuff going on. But I do have one that I think, actually, we'll just start with this one and to think about real life spooky places you could visit in Japan. And I mentioned this because one of my friends did it.
Okay.
My question, do you know what Urbex is?
What, Urban Explorers?
Have you ever heard of? Yes.
Yeah.
So you've heard of it before? Yes.
Oh, yeah. There's like the haunted, well, I guess there's like a haunted apartment building. It's like this huge mega apartment building that's right down the street from where I live. And there's like maybe 500 like empty apartments that's like right over there. It's like this huge, massive place that's been empty since like 1998 or something. And it's just falling apart, and it's all like decrepit and stuff. And every so often you'll see people walking around out there, and I'm like, urban explorers or homeless people living there? I do not know, and I don't want to find out.
So you never checked it out for yourself?
No, I'm not going to do that, man. Hell no, dude. I'm in where I am in my life. I'm not at the point where I'm going to go to like an abandoned house and fall through like the floorboards, dude. That's something that, you know, like all young people do in the Detroit area. Like way back in the, I mean, I'm sure kids still do that, but it's just like, man, when I was a kid, actually, we used to like go to raves, and then after raves or before raves, or like, you know, we'd walk outside and we'd go to Industrial Park or something, or the Packard plant, and like explore out there. But man, that is super, super dangerous. Like, I mean, you get shot, robbed, murdered, or just like I said, you'll just fall through the floorboards and nobody will ever see you ever again.
Yeah, I've heard pretty like because I've done a little bit of it like urban exploring, but like nothing crazy.
Really? Oh
But
man.
like, man, the reason we did like one, it's not even like real crazy. We walked home as northern Saitama, and we like I think it was like an actual temple that had been abandoned, but we snuck into it. We like climbed over the wall, and yeah, it'd been abandoned. You could see like old kimonos and fabric and hang out that had just then they're left to rot.
Really?
Cool, like we didn't get to poke around very much because I was staying with. I was blowing my phone up, going, "Dude, come on, I gotta poop." I'm like, "No, man, this is cool." But yeah, it's not that big a deal. But no, one of my friends got like hardcore into it. He did a bunch of different stuff. Actually, I think I'll read this. This is a pretty well written article, and I know I couldn't get pictures from him because it was so long ago I couldn't find it. But this is like somebody else who.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go. Spooky places. Mount Fuji's mysterious underground vault. The underground vault, Haikyo, in the shadow of Mount Fuji, is one of the strangest abandoned structures I've explored yet. A double-door, double-walled, walk-in safe with triple combination locks buried in a man-made mound in an unpopulated and obscure part of Japanese countryside. Now its thick and weighty doors hang open and loose, and there's nothing in the vaults but for 5 odd logos/symbols on the wall. I know the clue as to what purpose it has been dedicated in the kanji on the top structure of the dome in memory of our ancestors, it says. I stumbled upon this bizarre spot by accident after exploring the nearby resort hotel. It was already getting late, the light was fading, and I almost passed the whole complex by in favor of getting an early train home. But I'm glad I didn't, though, as buried between the two spa ryokan building, ryokan's traditional Japanese inn, and mussed over tennis courts, it was a petite extravagance.
Ooh.
At first, I headed over to the tennis courts, shot with breeze, and then when heading back to look over in the main buildings, I saw the dome. It's fairly wide. Stepped out on the earth was going on. So the kanji dedication and figured it was just somebody's idea of a memorial. I climbed into the nearby building and explored there. I'll post about that next. From the roof, though, I could look down on the dome and see that there was an open entrance. Actually, there was an open entrance into it. I heard it down. Doorway led down into the dome, down a short, sheer concrete wall, lichen green, with some light flowing in through the nearby reinforced glass tiles in the ceiling. I turned the corner and was shocked to see the safe door hanging halfway open. I went to give it a tug. It was very heavy, but it opened smoothly as if oiled. Inside there was empty space, and inside there was another safe with thick walls. This one was open too.
Whoa.
On the inside, 5 strange logos/symbols on the wall. I've asked lots of Japanese people if they recognize any of these, but nobody does. What are they? The central design. The red sun's grinning looks like something cultish. Blue one looks like a bank's logo. The others on top, maybe one kanji for winter, and the right one, big one. To the left, I have no idea. Do you know what these are? Is it possibly a suicide cult?
Ooh.
But there was nothing that's inside. I didn't want to step too farther in there or linger too long out of some irrational fear that someone or something might slip up behind me and slam the locks with all the safes closed and lock me inside. That I'd be trapped inside the scenario from the Saw movies and left in some hideous choice for survival. I didn't linger. So, yeah. So this is a pretty popular travel article. I guess I don't know this guy, but I guess he's a seasoned urban explorer, I guess you would say. But yeah, my friend actually went and did this, and he had an interesting experience as well. I'll tell you the story. They invited me to go on this, but I didn't go because, and I hate to say it, like the guy he was going with, this guy Nick, I just don't like him, and I don't know why, because he's some weird hippie guy, and he's super nice, but he just like something about him just creeps me out. So no, I didn't want to go with them. But,
Hippies.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I know, but like, yeah, this is what he said. He said, so like this is traditional Japanese, and it's pretty massive. He said like the exploring and that, and like I guess it just like suddenly shut down to the point they're even like, how to say, like they had a bar. There were just bottles just like left over. They just like left the booze.
Mm.
And
Well,
I think what else? Oh, the whole overrun by feral cats. They don't like mess with you, but at the same time, you just walk in. There's just like felines, especially in the dark. You know, their eyes reflect, so it's like clink, clink, clink. And they actually stayed the night over there. They just like opened up a door because all the doors were like unlocked and open. They just like camped out in whatever room. But then they went into the vault too, and they were like, "What is this?" Because it looks like weird cultures. You think about this massive vault with these like 5 strange symbols that nobody can recognize.
It's probably a cult.
I've done enough, and there might have been some other stuff in there, but yeah, but anyway, so I've done enough talking. So I've read this story to you, Joe. So Johnny, in your expert opinion, because you've been here a long time as well, like you've been here long enough to be like an expert in all things weird in Japan. What is your take on this? What do you think?
Okay. I think that this is probably either an old bomb shelter or it was some kind of a resort that was really big in the 1980s, but then after the bubble, it just closed down immediately and actually peppered all over Japan, especially in the rural areas. There's tons of huge resorts, like massive ski resorts and like beach resorts and just resorts in the mountains that just like completely closed after the bubble. Like the bubble in Japan was massive. You have no idea. Like in the 80s and 90s, like early 90s, Japan was just flowing with money. I mean, it was like a waterfall of money everywhere from the north to the south to the west to the east. And I mean, people were just building things. They were just building like hotels, resorts, beach resorts, all sorts of cool stuff, right? But then once the bubble burst, all construction stopped. People stopped going on vacation so much, and all these places just dried up. And then there's actually quite a few like abandoned like towns, like ghost towns peppered all over Japan and stuff. They're getting bigger and bigger and more decrepit and old and stuff. So, I mean, if you're an urban explorer, I mean, there's just so many places to go to. But I'll tell you what, one place where you should never, ever go to is Fukushima. Right now, there's a boom of urban explorers coming to Japan and going to Fukushima and videotaping their tours and stuff. And if you go to YouTube, you can see tons of people doing this. And I swear to God, these people in the next 5 years, all of their body parts are going to fall off. Their dicks are going to be fucking falling off left, right, and center. Because the thing is, there's videos of these guys. Oh, dude, it's bad. It's like, you know, like imagine the Toxic Crusader. These guys are all going to look like the Toxic Crusader, if not worse, because they're in the red zone, right? And they get their little Geiger counters or whatever, which are extremely blown up. It's like, they're like, oh man, this is so dangerous. And then they're like picking up Gundam robots and stuff and going to like anime stores and they're playing with the pachinko machines. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh my God, being there is so very bad. B, it's hyper illegal. And C, you are getting cancer so much. You're getting so much cancer. You're going to get like cancer, AIDS, hepatitis, syphilis cancer. It is going to be mega cancer. You guys are. Oh my God. So, I mean, urban exploring is fun when you're young and stuff. And I'm sure it's kind of cool now. But the thing is, it's just like, if you are going to do that, if you are going to do that in Japan, whatever you do, do not go to Fukushima. Stay away from the danger zone. If you want to check it out, just go to YouTube and watch some fucking videos. But whatever you do, just do not go there because, oh my God, it is so dangerous. It is so dangerous. And they're videotaping themselves being like, oh my God, this is so dangerous. And they're touching stuff. And I'm like, you guys are screwed. You guys are dead. You're watching a video on YouTube of like 6 people who are already dead and they don't even know it.
Like I went up to, keep in mind, I went in there and volunteered shortly after it happened, but I'm friends with some people that were like first responders. And like, as far as I know, nobody's got cancer yet. So I don't know, maybe.
Well, it's in the danger zone. I don't know.
I would say I would recommend staying away from the red zone. Those places are abandoned, and the government says keep out for a reason.
True.
Yeah. Did they have radioactive boars running around? So
yeah.
Like Fallout's big right now, especially since the video games have always been big, but now it's more mainstream. It's had a very highly successful TV show. So I don't know, man. Maybe they're wanting some Fallout. Maybe they want to get turned into a ghoul or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Wacky stuff. But anyway, to log it back on topic. Oh, also, like I will back up what you're saying. Also, there's a lot of wild stuff from the 80s though, because like what you're saying is like 100% correct. In the 80s, like think about it, man. Like Japan was at that time second largest economy in the world,
Yeah.
but like proportional wise, Japanese had way more money than Americans in the heyday. Man, they were like way richer because I think it's like what less than a third of America's population, and like all that money. Yeah, but that obviously didn't. That obviously wasn't going to last. But yeah, there's some pretty nutty stuff. There's like one up north. I think there's like some theme parks and like amusement parks that got closed down. They're just kind of like sitting there rotting. Nature's reclaimed it.
Oh
So,
yeah. Oh yeah.
there's some very very wild stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, dude, I was just in Izu about 3 weeks ago, and I was painting at an old like kind of like it was like the Disneyland before Disneyland came to Japan. And it's like this place, this kind of amusement park and stuff. And yeah, they had a bunch of old rides and trains and stuff. And they had like this huge mega jungle gym, which is about the size of my apartment building. And they had like this Roman bath that was underground, and they had like all sorts of crazy stuff. And it was still functional, but you could tell it's from the 80s and they're just barely holding on. Yeah, man, there's a lot of really cool stuff if you just get out of Tokyo, man. I for all you faders out there, I highly recommend that you get out of Tokyo and explore some like the weird old stuff that's out there. I mean, there's so much to explore and see, you know. Get out of Tokyo. Tokyo.
yeah. Well, like I said, last winter, one of my friends like came to Japan for his like 10th time, and he's still finding stuff to do.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, not all of it's in Tokyo though, but yeah.
Of course.
Let's go back to get back on the topic. So I read that wild, wacky story about like here's what it is like, and like my buddy had been wondering about this like for what it actually was. And update: we've since learned that the main logo belonged to a securities company called Sanyo, not the same one that produces tech. Lee of Tokyo Times unearthed a Sanyo company magazine bearing their logo in a nearby part of what is clearly the resort complex. The safe would have doubtlessly held important company papers, stocks, bonds, and etc. It was probably a bit of a vanity thing to keep it to themselves in such a location, but I'm sure they impressed their investors. Okay. Additionally, the red-faced logo in the center was surely put up there by another Haikyo employee. Seen as the same thing in many Haikyo around Ono, Japan. It's an explorer's calling card, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not another. Somebody else put it up there. So yeah.
Cool.
I don't know if that's like as cool, or I don't know if it's a letdown or if it's anticlimactic. But well, listeners, faders, we'll let you be the judge of that. But still, like, yeah, it's pretty wicked. I'll forward you the story, and you can share some of the pictures because they're interesting. I don't know if we're really doing it justice on audio only. You know?
Yeah, just post it on Facebook.
Anyway, you got any scary stories, Johnny? Or you tag teaming?
Scary stories in Japan? The scariest story in Japan. You know, I mean, I've had a lot of close calls in Japan. Scary stories. I don't really have scary. I don't really scare too easily, but I did go to a death room once.
What's that?
I did go to a death room once.
Yeah.
Okay, get this. All right. My wife and my in-laws and I, maybe about 7 years ago, we were driving up to like the shore of Niigata, right? My wife lives, she's from Niigata, right? So we're visiting our in-laws, and we went to the shores, right? And went to this big fish market just to check it out and buy some fish or whatever. And her father decided to take the scenic route back. And as he was taking the scenic route back, he's like, "Oh, Johnny, there's like this really, really old shrine / temple that's right up here and stuff. It's very, very ancient in Niigata. Do you want to check it out?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" So he pulls up and we get out of the car, and it's like one of those old shrine, old temples in the middle of nowhere. That's like where monks live or whatever. But there's like no tourists. The locals only go there on the 1st of January and stuff. And so, I mean, it was like very peaceful and just like, I mean, quiet. I mean, it was like super quiet, and it was kind of in the middle of nowhere, which is awesome. So we went there. And we went to the front and stuff, and a monk came out, and we're like, "Hey, can we get a tour of the place?" And he's like, "Yes, but you have to give me 500 yen." And we're like, "Sure, 500 yen, yeah." So we gave him 500 yen, and he gave us really, really wonderful tour of this shrine slash temple. And the thing is, it didn't look that big at front, and when you looked at it at the front of it, but it was like really, 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 really long. It was like incredibly long. It was like kind of massive, right? So we're going in there and we're checking out all these rooms and stuff where they have all these instruments and all just like, just like temple stuff, whatever, at praying rooms or whatever. And and then in the middle of the shrine, they have these like kind of like golden steps. Like it was like kind of like the staircase that went up to this door with a big red door, right? And I was like, huh, that's interesting. There's a second floor. What's up there? And he goes, oh, you can't go up there. It's a very special place. And I'm like, being kind of like a smart ass, I was like, well, we paid for the tour and I really want to see what's in there. And so my wife goes up to him and she starts talking to him. And she's like, hey, listen, he's a foreigner and he really wants to check it out and stuff. And my wife's kind of in on it too. And so the guy's like, okay, but you got to pay me more. So we're like, all right, cool. So we give him an extra 500 yen each, right? And so he's like, okay, you can come up here, but you can't really talk and you can't take photos and don't touch anything. And I was like, hell yeah, sounds like my kind of a place. So anyway, we go up these stairs. He opens up the red door and we walk in and it's this room that was kind of like, it wasn't like a pyramid, but it was kind of like a triangle, right? So like the walls were inverted in like this. And it was so deep. I mean, it just went on and on and on and on and on, kind of like Raiders of the Lost Ark, that last scene. And so it just went on. And anyway, we walk in there and it was crazy because all the walls were gold and the floor was like red velvet, right? And it was cold. It was really, really cold in this room. And on all the shelves and all the walls, there are shelves. Like there's like a shelf on top of a shelf on top of a shelf on top of a shelf, right? And then so basically these shelves went from one side of like the wall all the way down to the very far back, right? And on every one of these shelves was maybe 150 urns, right? So it's like an urn after 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 an urn. Level of shelf on top of level of shelf on top of level of shelf on top of level of shelf. There must have been maybe 2,000-3,000 urns, right? And then in the middle of this room was like another pyramid kind of like base thing, right? And this base thing had shelves on it too, and they were also covered with urns. So we were in there with thousands of just urns, dead bodies, right? And the whole place was cold. It was really cold, like as if there's we're walking into some kind of a cooler. But this is kind of when was it? I think it was fall or something, and it was much colder than the rest of the whole area, way colder than outside, right? Which means, they say when the temperature goes down, that's when ghosts are there. I think there's 1,000 ghosts in this room, and it was crazy. And another crazy thing about this was, in the middle of this weird ass David Lynch room, there's a big drum, this big leather drum with all these Japanese symbols on it and all these things. It was this decorative drum that looked more Chinese than Japanese. And then it had this big golden chair that was right next to the drum, as if somebody sat in this big kind of Conan-esque throne and drummed. Dun, 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 dun. But why would there be a big massive drum with a big golden throne in this David Lynch death room? I have no idea, and I didn't ask the guy about it, and we just went in there and we looked around, and then my wife said, let's get the hell out of here now. And I was like, all right, let's go. I mean, I have my fill of it, but still, I mean, that was crazy. That was the craziest thing I've seen in Japan. And I've seen a lot of crazy stuff. And granted, it's not as crazy as hookers blowing blow darts at each other or something on stage or something like that, which I've also seen. But I mean, it was creepy, scary, and uniquely special, spooky, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, so I guess that's my spookiest story so far.
All right. I'll tell this is probably the most scared I've ever been. I'll tell you about.
Wait, did you take an AIDS test?
That's scary though. I was a little bit worried about a few of those STD tests. No, I'll tell you about like I don't think I've told you this story. I don't think I've told this one in the air either. I'm not sure
Ugh.
why, but like second day in Japan.
Ooh. Second day in Japan, like what,
I mean,
2007?
yeah, dude, that would have been a long time ago. That would have been 21 years ago. Actually, yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, so we got 27th is your birthday, 28th is my son's birthday, 29th is my anniversary in Japan when I first moved here. So
Right.
21 years. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, oddly, that would have made it Devil's Night, which makes the creepier. All right. So anyway, the story is like moving in Japan, everything's sorted out. Like works, everything like visa, everything sorted out. So on the flight, come over, have a good time, blah blah blah. I'm all excited. I'm amped up. Yeah, I did it. I'm gonna live in Japan. It's gonna be so cool. Blah, 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 blah. Then get to Japan and like immediately like the group found me. Like I was put on a bus and I was sent to like a business hotel. And because like I'm a huge guy and I can't sleep and I was massively jet lagged, so they just like shuffled me up to a hotel and I was like out, like just like as soon as my head hit the pillow. That's the first night. Next day I woke up like talking in our group, and then we all got separated because we all got our assignments, right? So like we all got hustled off to the train. Had like a quick breakfast and got hustled off to like train station, and they're just like, here's like an information packet, and here's a ticket, and here's what train you're supposed to get off. This is in Osaka, so Shinkansen, go down to Shinjuku or go down to Kyushu, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then, like get there, and this all goes off with a hitch, and I was able to get off at the right, train station. Dude comes up to me, like another guy comes up to me, finds me, grabs me, directs me like to the apartment when I'm situated in, and which is like a 10-minute walk from the station. Cool.
Hmm.
And everything's taken care of. This is going pretty good. What goes off without a hitch? So he gives me the intro speech and like says a couple things, points a few things out in the area. And he goes, all right, man, you start working 3 days. Like, you got some time off to get settled in. Maybe you sleep off your jet lag or do whatever or have fun. And I'm like, whoa, dude. I don't know anybody. I like know nobody here, literally. He's like, well, I got to get back to work. Um, Pretty cool place. Walk around. I'm sure you meet people. So I'm just. So I want to be an idiot bubbling around. Like I couldn't even barely speak Japanese. I couldn't even really read it. So I'm walking in like random restaurant, pointing at the menu, going, "Oh, this," and just people just give me stuff. Anyway, but like luckily, like the cool place I find, there's a bar next door to this foreign foods restaurant. The guy was like really, really cool. And I walk in, and he's like, whoa, there's a foreigner. And I'm like, actually, I walk in, he had his like back to me and dropped the glass. And he turns around and sees a foreigner. I was like, whoa, 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 I don't want any trouble, man. I'm in the wrong place. Like, am I in the wrong place? And he tries to speak Japanese to me. I can't communicate. He calls the cook out. And the cook says, like, oh, no, the master is very honored. He has had this foreign foods restaurant for more than 10 years. No foreigners ever come here. You will be the first. Dinner's on him. I'm like, cool.
That never happens anymore.
Really good. I'm just like, yeah.
Never happens anymore.
I know, right?
Back in the day, weird stuff like that would happen.
Yeah. So anyway, so I go there, I eat food, and like he's like, yeah, this place is cool. I start drinking with him, and whatever we can do to communicate, and like people start filtering in. He's like, introducing meet all his friends. He's like, oh, you have a gaijin in here, and like this is like countryside enough where I'm like, a little bit of a curiosity. So start drinking with them, and like after like a certain point, like I get jet lag started hitting me like a hammer. This is where it goes down. He's like, no, man, you should stay. Like more friends coming. I called up all my friends. I'll introduce you. Make a ton of friends. And I was like, no, dude, I'm gonna like pass out. I'm gonna fall off this bar stool. It wasn't even like that. I wasn't even that drunk. Like I was just, it's like jet lag was just killing me.
It happens.
So, like, I was like, I'll go back up. Here's where the nightmare really starts. So like I go back up to my apartment alone, close the door, lock it, and boom. Then I wake up in the middle of the night, and I can't explain. Like I wake up in the middle of the night, and I couldn't move, like at all.
Yeah.
Not only like weird sounds like creaking and this, and like I couldn't shake this feeling. There's just like a malevolent presence, like a dark spirit. Oh no, I neglected to mention this earlier, but like the place overlooked. It was on the third or fourth floor, and it like overlooked a graveyard as well. So I'm getting all kinds of creeped out, and I couldn't move. I'm sitting there going, "What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?" So what do you think happened there?
Okay, you wake up and you can't move. Well, all right, there's a couple of things that could possibly happen to you, Tom. One, well, could be night terrors. Two, you could have a dead hooker on top of you. Or three, you haven't eaten anything in a couple of days and you've only been drunk and your body just gave out. One of the three. I'm thinking hooker.
You're thinking hooker. It's actually sleep paralysis. I don't know if you've ever had it, man, but if you've never had it, pray you don't ever get it, because it's the most terrifying thing. So you wake up and like can't move, and your brain just kicks into overdrive. This is where they think the legend of the succubus, that like this old like woman. Sometimes she's a really hot lady, but a lot of times she's an old hag, comes and like sits on your chest and like steals your soul or your breath or whatever. That's where they think that myth or legend came from. But like, yeah, man, it's terrifying. And like, I swore, like in my brain, there was like a dark evil spirit or something was in there. I couldn't see it, but I could. And also, if you've been in some of the older like Japanese apartments, usually well maintained. They're a little bit like creaky. Like you can hear the pipes and you can hear your name moving around next door because the walls are paper thin.
Yeah.
So I'm doing all this, and I can't move. And so it is like I tend to sleep on my side. So what I was it took, this seemed like hours. Realistically, it was probably only a couple of minutes. I was somehow able to get like my finger into my mouth, and then I just like bit down as hard as I could. And like the pain like just snapped me right out. I was like, ah! So I jumped up and I was like, whoa, man, that was like weird. So I jumped up and I freaked out a little bit, and then I kind of calmed down. I realized, okay, I've read about this before. It's nothing crazy like that. It's a combination of probably like alcohol and like some massive jet lag and just being kind of amped up in general. So I was like, okay, no big deal, right? So like I woke up, like puttered. It wasn't like super late. This is maybe like around midnight. Woke up, like puttered around the apartment a little bit. Maybe had like a little bit of glass of water and just went back to bed. And you'd think that would be the end of it. I had a reoccurring nightmare where I relived that like 6 or 7 times. So I'd sleep like 20, 30 minutes or maybe an hour. Boom, go through that same nightmare. Just like I swear like 6 or 7 times, it just kept coming back to haunt me.
Really?
So, yeah,
that's the scariest thing that's happened to you in Japan. That's scarier than like an AIDS test. I don't know, man. Getting an AIDS test is way scarier than that. I've had sleep paralysis like so many times. I get it like once every couple of months.
Wake up, you don't know what's going on. If you've never had it before, you wake up, you don't know what's going on. No.
No, I've had that.
Had it before. I've never had like. Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's weird. You can't move. You're like like that. Yeah, it's not fun, man. It's weird. It's a weird thing, but it happens to me not all the time, but I would say at least like maybe once every 2 months or so, like kind of often, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, it's just something that happens. But the thing is, like when it happens to me, I'm always on my back. I'm not on my side or on my front. So I'm on my back when that shit happens. It's not fun. It is frightening. But the thing is, it's just like not as bad as an AIDS test. Just saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Any other crazy scary story? Oh, there was that one scary story that you and I were both a part of. Remember that?
But the AIDS test?
It's that. Separately, I don't know.
Wait. What are you talking about? What are you talking? Is this safer air? Like what kind of a scary thing are we talking about?
No, because remember that like Nakamura still in your hood. Remember, like I would just do a podcast. So you come over, we do the podcast. We had a good time. We're all like buddy, and you're just like, hey man, let's go down to that one cheap supermarket and go shopping. Oh, I gotta go shopping too. And like, keep in mind, we haven't seen each other, so we're just like sitting there. We're going through the shop, just cheap supermarket shopping, BSing as we regularly do. And then that one like crazy looking goth at us, remember?
Oh my God! Yeah,
Because we're just like, what's been up? And then we just get this like crazy looking goth chick is just standing in our way, just staring at us. And I'm like, excuse me, can you just move over? And like she and Goofy definitely had the crazy.
dude, you're breaking up, man. Dude, your internet's fucked up, dude. You're breaking up. Hello?
What did you say, man?
Hello? Yeah, dude, your internet's breaking up, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking hate this.
Not really, but yeah.
What?
Yeah.
All right, so
anyway, yeah, but that crazy chick starts following us around.
Yo, can you hear me? Because nobody heard any of that story.
Sorry, man. What I was trying to say is like that crazy chick just starts following us around.
Okay, well, all right. I just heard that. Okay, so, all right. Retell the whole story. You broke up, dude. Like, I only got like bits and pieces of that whole story. It's like Max Headroom.
Okay. All right. So, like, yeah, because, like, remember, like, back when I used to, like, live in your hood, right? Like, Nakamura. This is before I moved down here to, like, Yokohama suburbs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we did a podcast. It was really cool. We're hanging out, and, like, we finished up, and Johnny's just like, hey, man, I got to go shopping. And I was like, oh, I got to go shopping, too. So let's go to that one cheap super. Yeah, man, that sounds cool. And, like, we haven't really hung out because, like, Johnny's busy with work, and I'm like, I got a kid to take care of. So we're just like, hey, man, how you doing? Like, what's been up with this and that? And, yeah. So we're going through the supermarket, and, yeah, and just, like, oh, yeah, dude, dog, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Just putting stuff in, like, our baskets. And then, like, we stop. There's just, in one of the aisles, there's this crazy looking goth girl, like, blocking our way. And I was like, excuse me, miss, could you, like, scooch on over? And she gives this goofy grin. Definitely has the crazy eyes. Don't forget that. And just gives this big goofy grin and just, like, moves aside and we walk on by her. Then she just starts following us around. Doesn't say anything, just follows the two of us around. And, like, me and Johnny are just sitting there looking at each other, and like we didn't even have to. We were friends for like so long. We didn't have to say anything. We just like looked at each other, and we just gave each other that look, and we're just like abort, 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 GTFO, and like yeah. So we just like hurried through the line, paper and stuff, and just like bagged it up and went. Then we got outside, and then they said, no, dude, side streets. We took like a bunch of quick side streets, like detours, to make sure it wasn't following us. Like yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Those.
So basically, a schizophrenic girl fell in love with Tom.
Like a bunch of those.
Oh, that was pretty crazy. Yeah. That lady.
I don't know. She could have been more.
I don't know, man. She was trying to talk to you because you're like this big, tall, like white dude. I don't know. I'm more average here, but hey, okay. So do you have like another like Japanese story, like a traditional Japanese story about like uni or something like that? That you were supposed to get, Tom. Oh, shit. I blew it out. Oh, no. That's what I get for drinking too much.
Johnny's.
We don't need no education. Bum, 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 bum. Blow the candle.
Traditional stories are always like weird, though. Like,
so, do you have one, though? That's what you're supposed to do, by the way. We don't need no thought control. So wait, so do you have like an old story?
You know about the kitsune?
All right. Wait. Is it a short story? We don't have too much time.
It's a real short story, but like a lot of these stories start like this. Like basically this like, dude, like let's just say he's a samurai because why not? Because it's like, feudal Japan.
Okay.
He goes out, it's like has a bit to drink. He's having a good time, and then decides to go home. So he's going home, minding his own business. On the path, he sees this beautiful woman who's got her fan up, and she just like they cross paths, and he gives her like little cutesy. She gives him a little cutesy smile and starts chatting her up, and like they get flirtatious. He's like, oh, yeah, I don't know who this girl is, but I think she's really into me. And then he says, well, where do you live? And she goes, oh, right this way, sir. Come back to my place. And she turns around, and then he sees like a foxtail sticking out. He's like, no, Kitsune. And then he tries to kill her, and she runs away. That's basically the story. But like, you heard that one before? The Kitsune?
No, but you said it so well, so I don't need to hear it again. Oh man. Well, anyway, I thought you were gonna have like a bunch of like Japanese like traditional horror stories.
I swear, like though, it's either Kitsune or the same deal with an ice woman. This guy's like hiking, and this beautiful woman invites him to his place, and like he bangs her, and then like she's cold, and he wakes up next to a like dead corpse, and it's like the ice woman demon, like the Yuki demon. They're all like that, man. I don't know. Like maybe I could have done my homework, but like I thought, like
yeah, you had homework. I gave you homework. I said, Tom, I need 3 spooky traditional Japanese stories, and you got me nothing.
You said 3 spooky stories. You didn't say anything about traditional or anything.
Well, I just thought that you would understand that if I said 3 tradition or 3 Japanese spooky stories, that wouldn't be like you having night paralysis. Sorry, I should. Okay, all right. All right, let me think. Next time when speaking to Tom, I have to be completely thorough because he won't get it. Got it. All right, got it. Okay, so. All right, how about this? All right, so before we get on to the news, because this is like a Halloween episode, maybe one of 2 or something. All right, for you, what is your scariest Japanese movie? Or what's your favorite Japanese scary movie?
The Ring was pretty good.
What?
How about you?
Wait, what'd you say? You're breaking
I
up.
thought The Ring was pretty good. I like the Ring. That's a classic.
The Ring. Okay, yeah, The Ring is pretty good.
I'll be honest. Like, I actually like the Japanese version better because I thought it was more psychologically gripping. Even though they didn't have as much. Obviously, the Hollywood version of it had a lot more money, but I thought like the original Japanese they did a better version of the storytelling. Ooh,
I agree.
There's one more. There's one more that like a friend showed it to me. It's really good. It's not really gory, but it's really psychological. You ever heard of one called Booth?
No.
Ooh, see that one. It's really good. It's like psychological and cerebral.
Okay, no. I'll definitely have to check that one out. Let's see. For me, it wasn't a horror movie. It was more of like kind of like what?
Yeah, it's a horror. Yeah, check that one out. But yeah, sorry, I'm talking over you. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can't do that because our internet's, I don't know if it's my internet or your internet, but maybe a combination of 2 or whatever. Maybe my neighbors are all looking at fucking hardcore porn. But the internet connection's not so good right now. So, but let me think. I think for me, Yariman Hunter was pretty decent, but that's more of like a psychological thriller, kind of like Fatal Attraction. And so is Forest of Love. Forest of Love was like a really great movie, but also it wasn't a horror movie, but it was like a psychological thriller.
I don't know. I would argue Force of Love is pretty horror. I mean, there's pretty gory stuff, but like, we did a very special episode about that, like the psycho killer, the serial killer. It was all based off of.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, Japan. I think Japan in like the the late 80s, 90s, and early 2000s had a lot of great movies. There were so many fantastic movies back then. Now it's kind of hit or miss, but back then there was like a lot of great movies, and I think a lot of the movies back then were. I mean, the scary movies were kind of scary. Like, for example, even Houseu. Houseu was kind of like, at its time, was like a very scary movie. I mean, that movie, when it came out, was like frightening for a lot of people. You know, I mean, that was like Psycho. That was like the equivalent of like Psycho in America, but in Japan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because we did that. We actually wound up watching that one. Like, Yeah, it was very good, especially considering it came out with like 1972, I think, something like that.
Yeah,
So
like
they didn't and they
no,
didn't
79
have
or
a huge budget.
82.
Is it? No, it was in the 70s. We should know this. Maybe it's 78. I don't know, but it was definitely in the 70s though.
Yeah, it was like a long time ago. That's for sure.
Like yeah, I would say like they didn't have a very good budget, but they got very creative and like with the directing and some of the shots.
No, it had to be in the 70s. It was in color.
Yeah, yeah, it was in the 70s for sure. But you were saying this like early 80s. I was like, no, it was in the 70s, man.
Yeah, okay. All right, whatever. It's like before like most of our audience was born.
Like the ending gets kind of dumb after the second watch. I'm like, anyway, watch it at your own peril. But yeah, it's worth checking out. House 1970 something.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
Well, on that note, okay, well, I think we should take a little break. And then after the break, we come back and we get into the news. What do you think?
For sure. Sounds good.
All right, faders. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to take like a 5-minute break, enjoy our sponsors, follow our sponsors, love our sponsors, support our sponsors. And when we come back, we've got the news. All right, faders, we're going to catch you in a minute. Peace.
Yo, what's up, Faders? Got Faded Japan has got a new sponsor. Our new sponsor is Gamuso Bar, located in Asagaya, Tokyo. If you're kicking it in Tokyo and you want to get your groove on, get your fade on, you better get your ass down to Gamuso. Gamuso is located in Asagaya. It's about 11 minutes from Shinjuku Station on the Chuo line. Gamuso has weekly bands, weekly performances. And hell, if you got your own event and you want to hold it at Gamuso, we'd love to host you. So contact Gamuso at www.gamuso.com. That's www.gamuso.com. That's right, Gamuso has not only beers in the bottle, but beers on tap. We've got every drink you want, so come on down to Gamuso. Gamuso, and if I'm working, tip me.
Have your attention, please. Attention.
Hey, yo, what's up, Vaders? Johnny here. You know I love booze and news, but I also love art. So come on down to thespiltink.com and check my art out. I've got tons of stuff there for you to check out. And I've got paintings, I got prints, I got videos. And I tell you what, if you like a painting, I could probably sell it to you. And I tell you what, if I can't sell you that painting, I will definitely sell you a print. I've got prints of all my work. Prints are about 2,000 yen each, about $20. But if you buy two, you get the third one for free. So come on down to thespiltink.com. Yo, and on top of that, I'm looking for commissioned work. So if there's something that you want me to do, I can make it for you. Just check out my stuff and see if you like my style. And if you like my style, I can definitely paint you anything on canvas, paper, whatever. I've done it all. So come on down to thespiltink.com. That is THESPILTINK.com. Thespiltink.com. Proper. Mitsuya Liquors. Yo, what's up, faders? If you're in Asia, if you're in Japan, if you're in Tokyo, if you're in Asagaya, you better get down to Mitsuya Liquors. That's right. For the most affordable prices in Japan, you can get over 300 different kinds of beer. That's right, over 300 different kinds of beer. And of course, they got all the shochu you need, all the sake you need, and of course, they got wine from California to Italy to France to New Zealand. They got it all. When I say they got it all, they really, seriously got it all. There's no joke about that. So get down to Mitsuya Liquors. And if you go in there and you say, got Faded Japan, you will be more than welcome to go into their back room and drink those beers that you just purchased. That's right, got Faded Japan at Mitsuya Liquors. And 3 times a week, they have a sushi chef there. So get your sushi on, get your drink on, get your fade on, and come on down to Mitsuya Liquors, located comfortably in Asagaya, about 5-minute walk from the station.
In Tokyo and craving soul food? We've got just the place for you. Soul Food House in Azabu-Juban. Check out what we do at soulfoodhouse.com. Come by and taste the love. We look forward to feeding you.
Are you at Harajuku with some out-of-town friends or your family or significant others? Yeah! Do you want to chill and drink beer and eat sandwiches while your friends overpay for glitter unicorn socks? Yeah!
And the flavor's gonna make you complete. at Harry's Sandwich Company.
So come on down to Harry's Sandwich Company in the heart of Harajuku, right off Takeshita Street. See you there!
And we are back, Faders. And yes, Faders, we do have the news for you. And we've got some amazingly spooky news. Actually, the news that I have is kind of creepy in a not good way, but in a very bad way. So let's see, Tom, do you mind if I go first?
Sure. If you want to go first, it's fine. Take it. Go for it.
Okay, so I got a very creepy story. Here we go. Wait. No, I just had it. I just lost it. Oh my gosh. Why do I drink so much? Okay. So I've got a very creepy Halloween story. Ooh, this story is so creepy. Here we go. Teacher arrested for taking secret photos of teenage girls' naked bodies before he stabs them while wearing a hockey mask. Okay, that last part was fake. But yes, what? There was a what? Okay, I thought you said something. What? Yes. So what? Dude, if you're gonna say something, man. You're breaking up, all right? Say something or don't say something. All right. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Teacher arrested for taking secret photos of teenage girls' naked bodies. Ooh, so spooky. No, actually creepy. This man is a creep. He's a creep. If we had $1 for every time we had a story like this, I would quit all my work and buy Sakura Island. I swear to God. This story takes place in Shiga. Police in Moiyama, Shiga Prefecture, have arrested a 41-year-old high school teacher on suspicion of violating the Child Pornography Prohibition Act after he took secret creepy photos of teenage girls' naked bodies with his creepy smartphone. Ooh. Police said the suspect, Masayuki Ishida, has remained silent, except to say, quote, "I don't feel like talking about anything," end quote. Sanaki Shimbun reported, according to police, Ishida is suspected of secretly taking creepy nude photos of girls with his creepy smartphone in a hotel room in Kyoto City on January 4th of this year, and possessing a smartphone containing 12 videos of child pornography, showcasing girls under the age of 18 years old when he was detained for suspicious creepy behavior on a creepy street in Moiyama Creepy City in Creepy May. Wow, this is a creepy story for sure. The Shiga Prefecture Board of Education commented, quote, "We deeply regret that this has damaged the trust of the people of the prefecture, period. We will confirm the facts and take strict action," end quote. Well, I hope this creepy bastard goes to a creepy prison for the rest of his creepy life. Tom, thoughts? Ooh.
Nice, man, but like, underage girls, teenage girls. Why? Just why? He's a creeper, man. Lock him up, throw away the key. No, I don't know what is like. Obviously, I don't agree with this, but I don't know what else we could say at this point because, like, we've done so many like creeper articles about creepy guy who takes creepy photos of unwitting like underage girls. So. Lock him up. That's all I got to say.
Yep, lock him up, throw away the key, and Saya Nara.
I hate to say it, but like obviously I don't agree with this, but like, I still think it's super duper creepy. But like we've done so many, I'm just desensitized to it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, to a degree. I mean, if there's more to the story, like, I mean, if he was wearing like a Batman outfit or something, it would be more interesting. But nah, it's just a creepy teacher. But the guy is 40 years old. You know, actually, I'm pretty surprised that he only had like a few videos on his phone. You probably like, or maybe he had like some kind of like a secret, like kind of like a file or something like that, whatever, where he had like millions of them. But yeah, usually these creepoids have like a shit ton of videos and stuff on their phones. Usually when they find their phone, they're like, holy shit. And then when they do like, when they go into his house, they'll probably find like hard drives full of crazy shit. So yeah, there's probably more to this story, and we'll find that out.
Yeah, but that because they always do, dude. It's not like an isolated incident. He's been like creeping on girls like then, and he's 40. He's had what, like 20 plus years to do this. Oh, another thing, since I'm a parent, super duper creepy when you're in your 40s and you're taking pictures naughty pictures of like underage girls that are like by that age they're young enough to be your daughter. Super creepy.
Good point. Another thing is, how did he get naked photos of these girls? I mean, what was he doing, Liz? He's in a hotel. Was he slipping his phone under the door, hitting record or something? Or popping it up through a window or something, or taping it to his shoe as he's walking around or something? Or I don't know, man. How did he get these fucking naked photos? Then again, we should probably not talk about this because it could be incriminating. We could go to jail for that.
Yeah, but you hit on a good point. I was going to say that too. I was wondering, window peeking, or I don't know.
You're breaking up. Slow down.
Or the hot spot. Don't do it.
What? Hello?
I think I'm going to do this.
Hello?
All right. Anyway.
Yo, Tom.
Yeah, I'm here.
Tom.
Yeah.
We did. 1 minute. There's nothing. I didn't hear anything. There's nothing got recorded for the last minute.
All right. Anyway, I think it's my turn to go. So I'll read my creepy story.
There we go. Whatever.
Kanagawa, a man was found hanged and a woman fatally stabbed inside a hotel in Yokohama City's Konan ward on Monday. Police have revealed at around 11 a.m. an hotel located in front of KQ Kamioka Station called police. Quote, 2 people, a man and a woman, have not come out of the room. Even though it's time to check out, their door is locked from the inside and we can see a rope through the gap. Dun, dun, dun. According to Konan Police Station, the man was found with a rope around his neck near the door. The woman was sitting upright in bed, body. 2 blood-stained knives were found in the room. TV Asahi reports on the 10th. Subsequent police investigations revealed that the woman was a Yokohama resident aged in her late teens, and the cause of death was hemorrhagic shock. Hemorrhagic shock. Am I pronouncing the name right? Hemorrhagic shock. Police said
it's called hemorrhoidic.
Yeah, so
it's like her butthole, the hemorrhoids.
Hemorrhoids. No, hemorrhoid. No, I'm pretty sure she bled out. I'm pretty sure that was what it means. What do I know? I'm not a doctor. The man, aged in his 40s and living in Kyoto City, Kyoto Prefecture, had deep stab wounds near his chest. The cause of death was cardiac tamponade. We should just call this the creepy medical episode.
Yeah, it is.
Pressure is created by blood or fluid collecting around the sac surrounding the heat, caused it to not function normally. I'm reading that verbatim.
Wait, Tom. His sac had too much blood and it didn't work normally? Hello?
His sac had too much blood.
Hello? God damn it, dude. This internet's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, his sac had too much blood. So you can tell where all the blood was going. But let's get to there were no signs of struggle in the room. Police have
God damn it.
At a nearby store who witnessed the scene outside the hotel after discovering
Tom.
quote,
Tom.
2 bodies wrapped.
Tom. Read that last minute again.
Okay. There were no signs of struggle in the room, police said. Police are currently investigating the relationship between the man and the woman, the circumstances that led to their deaths. That's it. An employee at a nearby store who witnessed the scene outside the hotel after discovery told the Asahi Shimbun that 2 bodies were wrapped in blue tarpaulins and carried away. So what's going on here? A dude in his 40s from Kyoto was shacking up with a girl in her late teens. Dun, dun, dun. I think we got another creepo on our hands.
Wait, so basically he killed her and then he committed suicide. Hello?
They haven't said that, but that's what I was thinking. Seems like the most logical answer, right?
I guess so, yeah. I don't know. So it's basically a murder suicide in a love hotel. So it's like basically the love hotel from hell.
Or maybe, well, actually, they said he had like stab wounds on his chest as well.
Oh my God. What do you think? It's
So,
like
I don't know.
knife play?
Maybe they tried. Maybe she tried to kill him first, and then he just stabbed her back. I don't know. Some pretty people. I don't know. People doing some whack shit these days, man. Who knows?
That is true, man. Yeah, yeah. The way murder's going these days, dude, it's getting weirder and weirder and weirder. Okay, here we go. My story.
Role play gone wrong. Role play gone wrong.
What?
Sorry.
No, what'd you say? God damn it. Here, dude, let me see what I can do with my fucking internet. Hold on a second. God damn it. This fucking pissed me off with bullshit. All right. Maybe that will fix things. God damn it. Yeah, that's what happens when you do a podcast live. Ugh. Hello?
I was just gonna say role play gone wrong.
What? God damn it. I fucking hate this.
Role play gone wrong.
All right, knife play gone wrong. All right, hopefully things are going to be better now. All right, let's see what we can do here. Yeah, I guess like Halloween. Dude, I think there's a ghost in the machine, man. The ghost, the spirits of the internet are fucking with us, dude. They do not want us to podcast tonight. They're doing everything they can to stop this podcast from happening, man. They're pulling the wires. They're putting salt in the machine. Dude, we're having problems left, right, and center, but that's okay, man, because we are carrying on, man. We are moving forward with this podcast. Nothing can stop us except for technology itself. But don't worry, we got Satan on our shoulders, so it's cool. All right, here we go. Next story. I got a question for you, Tom, before I do this story. Tom, have you ever been brainwashed?
Oh, why?
Wait, have you ever been
But if you were
brainwashed?
actually brainwashed, then you wouldn't know you were brainwashed, right? So I don't think so. Why?
Okay, you don't think so? I don't think I've ever been brainwashed either, but here we go. This is a story about brainwashing. Man arrested for fraud after brainwashing 2 women to fund his lifestyle. Okay, so how do you brainwash someone? I don't know, but I tell you what, I want to brainwash all our listeners into supporting us on Patreon. This story takes place in Osaka. Aishiteru. Police in Osaka Prefecture have arrested a 22-year-old unemployed man on suspicion of fraud and extortion for allegedly correcting 2 women in their 20s for buying him 2 sports cars. Well, that's very expensive in Japan, and transferring money to him. God damn, this guy's good. Mitsuho Shiraishi and the 2 women have been living together for about 5 months, and during questioning, he reportedly stated that he had, quote, brainwashed the 2 women in order to live an easy life, end quote. NHK quoted police as saying, wow, that's crazy, man. You know what this is like? This is like an evil version of like Three's Company. Remember that show, Three's Company?
Yeah, I remember.
Remember?
Didn't the dude pretend to be gay so he could live with those 2 children? Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, basically he pretended to be gay so he could live in like an all girls, like, I guess, apartment place. That was insane, man. That was like the best show ever. Come and knock on our door. We've been waiting for you. We've been waiting for you. Where kisses are his and hers, it's Three's Company too. Yeah, I'm a terrible singer when I get this drunk. Okay, moving on. According to police, Shirashi met the 2 women through social media in February, and he began dating one of them, Three's Company. In March, the 3 began living together. Police said Shirashi poses as fictitious characters, sent the two threatening emails more than wait. This is written all fucked up. Police said Shirahashi, posing as fictitious characters, sent the two threatening emails more than 2,000 times, making them believe that they were being targeted by hostile forces and making various demands on them under the pretext of protecting themselves. The women bought him a car and transferred money into his account between March and June. Police said Shiashi also kept the women confined to his apartment by convincing him it was dangerous to leave because enemy forces that wanted to harm them were outside the building. Dude, what the fuck? This story is fucking so crazy. This is a horror story in itself, man. Oh my God. And it's written, the person that wrote this fucking article is a moron. I'm a drunk idiot at this moment, but still, I can tell that this article is written by a fool. The incident came to light when one of the women asked for help from an acquaintance she had met while playing an online game. The acquaintance contacted police and said her friend was being confined by a man named Shirashi. Police says Shirashi has admitted to the charge and quoted him as saying, quote, "I brainwashed the two women to satisfy my desire to have everything I wanted in order to live an easy life," end quote. Well, that was written pretty well, I guess. Well, then again, I guess it was a quote, so how can you fuck that up? But yeah, dude, that's pretty crazy. So, Tom, what are your thoughts on this story?
Pretty crazy. Yeah, I guess he did brainwash them or something, man. Like, that, but I don't know. But usually the women that get targeted, this like they're older, they're not the best looking, they're well off, and they're just really lonely, so looking for companionship.
Check.
So I don't know what to say.
Yeah, 2 checks right there, man. So I think that's what happened.
There's a developing story I found. I only found a little bit of information, but I'd like to come back to it. But like, apparently, there's this dude who wants to be the god of marriage or something. That's what he wants. So he's married, but he lives with he's got 4 wives. Polygamy is illegal, but he's legally married to one, but he's got 3 other women that live there. So he's got 4 wives. They all live together, and he's got 2 girlfriends on top of it that I think visit quite frequently. And all the women are completely cool with this, but this guy has not worked for more than 10 years. But basically, and he's already knocked him up and had a couple of kids with his wives. Apparently, they're all cool with this, with him not working and just them going out and working, financially supporting him. What do you do? He's a house husband. He takes care of all the cooking, cleaning, and child rearing. And apparently, all the women are just completely cool with him just being the stay-at-home dad and the sperm.
Yeah.
Donor.
Well, I don't see a problem in that if everybody's happy.
I guess, but I want to know more info about this, because this could be a whole episode in and of itself, depending on what kind of details we can dig up. But he's a nut job, because he said he wants to become the god of marriage and parenting, and the god of masculinity. He wants to become a god of a lot of things, and this is his way to do it. So he's a nut bar too. Yeah,
I'm sure he is. But I'll tell you what, man. I mean, 2 wives, 3 wives, 4 wives. On paper that sounds awesome, but in real life, dude, that's a lot of work. That's really expensive. Fuck that. Seriously, who's got the energy to do all that shit? Oh my God. Yeah. And they're teaming up on him too, right? For example, the one day he doesn't do dishes, it's not one wife that's pissed off. It's 5 wives. 5 wives are fucking in surrounding him, dude, like a fucking gang, being like, "Bitch, you didn't fucking wash the dishes and the floors are dirty. Did you sweep the floors? Did you vacuum? I don't think you vacuum. And where the fucking linens, bitch?" He'll be like, "Oh, honeys, I'm so sorry." So on paper, it sounds great, but in reality, I don't think so. What a nightmare having 5 wives. Ooh, spooky.
I agree, because what if one of his wives came home and just totally unrelated to anything he's done at home or whatever, she just went to work and just had a shitty day at work, right?
Yeah.
She comes home in a pissed off mood. Then wife number 3's pissed off about something, maybe not related to maybe not out of his control. Then maybe wife number 1 has a legitimate gripe, and all of a sudden it's this chain reaction snowballs it, and it's just like bang, 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 bang.
I couldn't agree with you more, man. I couldn't agree with you more.
Smoking inside a fireworks shop, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, your story.
So you think you got it wrong place, blah, 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 and then your ass gets lit up.
Yep.
All right. Last story. I don't know. It's like last story. All right, here we go. Tokyo Metropolitan Police on Monday have arrested a 64-year-old man after a corpse, likely that of his father, was found inside their home in Hachioji City.
What?
According to Hachioji Police Station. Yeah, what? it gets better, I promise. Like, we've had like a rash of these, like, you know, basically, usually what this is, like, if you're like, you know, just turning in, you're like a short-term listener, but like, yeah, a lot of these like kids that are deadbeats are just basically like one of their parents passes away and like they don't tell anybody, so they just like wrap them in like you know a carpet and lock them in a room and like you know just can't keep cashing their like you know retirement pension or whatever because they're deadbeats. But anyway,
dude, do you know how
this
stinky
one
that's got to be?
Better, though.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I imagine so. I imagine so.
Oh,
Real
God
quick.
damn it.
Where are we?
Okay.
Yeah. When questioned, Sato denied the charges, saying, "I didn't think my father was dead." The suspect was quoted in saying, "I thought he was just sleeping for a year."
Sleeping with the fishes.
Crazy. Here's where it gets better. The residence is inside a public housing complex. The suspect lives there with his 90-year-old father. Okay, inside a public housing complex. So isn't somebody smelling something off? On October 13th, a staff member from a cleaning company entered the residence and found mummified remains in the living room. In the living room! You didn't have the good sense to lock him in another room. Oh my God.
That's right next to the fucking Nintendo, man.
Oh, it gets better. You're gonna love this next quote. Sato explained to the staff member, quote, "I have a father who can't move, but don't worry about it," end quote. This is totally normal.
That's crazy.
Police are currently in the process. Yeah, I did.
Oh, God damn it.
What do you think, Dan? Help, he's fallen asleep and can't get up.
You know what? This happens all the time. It's like a reoccurring issue here in Japan where basically like, you know, somebody's father or mother or grandmother dies or whatever. And they just keep on collecting the checks, you know, because, I mean, they're a deadbeat, you know, they don't have a job.
Deadbeat.
And yeah, they're always deadbeats, you know, that means shit. I mean, they're living with their parents at fucking 50 years old. So the thing is this, though, man. I can't imagine living in a room, in an apartment, or a house with a dead body. There's no way I could live in a house with a dead body. Now, I live near a cemetery. Actually, I live near a couple of cemeteries, just like you. I mean, it's Tokyo. There's cemeteries everywhere. There's a cemetery within 15 minutes of every apartment building. This is how it is here, right? But the thing is, though, having that body in your house as a body, dude, that's creepy. Especially if it's next to your Nintendo, dude. If you're like playing like fucking like a game and shit, and you're like, yeah, get out of my way. Oh, I forgot you're dead. You know, that's creepy, right? Woo, happy Halloween. What do you think?
So that's about it. And yeah, I guess like that's about it. Yeah, it's super creepy. But also, yeah, tune in. We didn't get to mention this before, but like, it's a little bit of sad news on like Shibuya, though. They're trying to crack down and shut it down. So I don't know. They said like they're gonna have like signs up saying no partying in Halloween. They already banned drinking. That came into effect in the first.
Yeah,
and they're saying that like no Halloween. They're trying to stamp out Halloween. They're gonna have signs in public hours and police are going to be out in full force, so you can't stop Halloween. They're going to wall off like Hachiko so people can't take pictures. And I don't know. We're gonna save this until the next episode for the after action report, but I think this is gonna fail epically because there's gonna be pushback because it's Halloween and like that is tradition. People want to party on in Shibuya on Halloween. That has been the tradition. So,
all right, it's funny that you say that. It's funny that you say that. But like online, there's already groups of people that are like going to Ikebukuro in Ikebukuro Park. There's people going to Ueno, like that Central Park in Ueno. There's a shit ton of people that are going to Kabukicho by the Godzilla Tower or whatever. By what's it called? Kabukicho, the falls, the waterfall park, whatever that's over there. So it's like instead of like everybody in the whole city going to Shibuya, with Shibuya closing down. I think it's strategic, to be honest. I think this is a way for like Tokyo itself to spread the love, because I mean before everybody's going to Shibuya where it's concentrated in Shibuya, but for like Shibuya, the mayor of Shibuya being like, nope, don't do it here. There's no alcohol in the streets. We're not gonna give you a ticket, but we're gonna like take your alcohol away, and we're gonna sternly yell at you and stuff, which has been happening every single night in Tokyo in Shibuya recently. And so I think people are going to like, there's going to be people in Shibuya. Of course, there's going to be people there. You can't stop that. But I think what's going to happen is more people are going to like kind of like move out of Shibuya and go to other areas and stuff. And I think there's going to be more love spread out. And it could be strategic done by the city being like, listen, stuff, all the people here, all the madness here, all the money being made here. If we stop it here, of course, it's Shibuya. We're going to make fucking money no matter what. But if we stop it here, kinda, people will go to other places like Harajuku, Shinjuku, Ikebukuro, Ueno. I mean, Jiugoka. Who knows? I mean, all other places and stuff. So I think that's what's going to happen, and that's kind of like the vibe that I've been feeling. I mean, I'm going to Nihonbashi.
Well, I mean, like there's always been a lot of action in like Harajuku as well, which is one stop north.
Yeah.
On the Yamanote line. And I know for a fact Shinjuku sees some action as well.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is, like, but Shibuya for sure, like, almost had a monopoly on it. And, like, I think it's stupid to let basically other areas of Tokyo eat their lunch. Because let's one thing that's really important here, which you need everybody to understand, like, Tokyo is not a city. It is a prefecture. Shibuya, Shinjuku, the 23 wards are all actually technically different cities. They're political systems. Like, they've got a little bit of leeway to do the things. Like, it's stupid on Shibuya's part to let basically the rest of Tokyo eat their lunch, which is what they're doing. And all they had to do is the same thing that you and I have been screaming in the microphone for I don't know how many years. Like, corral it into Yogi Park. There's a big enough space.
Yeah.
You can have the cops. You can get merchants involved. Like there's a lot of good like commerce and flowing. Just make sure everybody's safe, and you can have some cool, wicked, fun stuff. Get some DJs, whatever, man. You can rock. You can own that shit like nobody's business. It'd be a massive party, like one of the worldwide, probably one of the biggest Halloween parties.
Sure, yeah, I agree with you. Yep. But I think it's political. And the thing is, like, no matter what, Shibuya is going to have a shit ton of people. Maybe at this point is past maximum overdrive, right? So I think like basically for them to say no alcohol, no this, all the bars are going to be full. All the clubs are going to be packed. No matter what, Shibuya is going to be taken care of. That's a given. But I think, I mean, there's like 45 million tourists coming that's in Japan for 2023. They said 45 million tourists are going to come to Japan in 2024. I'm sorry, I'm kind of fucked up. So it's just like there's more than enough people that are here, more than enough people that like tourists that are here and stuff like that. They're past their limit. They're like, dude, we need help, dude. We don't need any. I mean, it's at the point where it's just going to be like more trouble. Because I mean, there's been, dude, do you know how many bad things happened last year? Things that I don't even want to talk about and stuff, like the R word and shit, dude. Fucking like it was fucked up, dude. So the thing is, like, I think for like them to like move some of those people out is actually a good thing for Shibuya, you know, because all those motherfuckers in the center of like fucking like, you know, Center Street, right? They're not buying anything. They're just there being like, woo, doing selfies and like maybe like touching boobies and shit, dude. That's probably what's happening. So they don't want that shit there. They want fucking people to spread out and stuff, right? So if people like spread out to like other parts of like Tokyo and shit, you know, it's more controllable. So I completely understand it.
I don't know. We will see. We shall see what we see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what happens. Shit. Well, fuck, Faders, on that note, we will see what happens when we see you next time. Faders, thank you very much for tuning into this very special episode of Got Faded Japan. I'm so sorry about the internet. The internet was really fucked up. Who knows whose fault it was? I mean, it's the fault of the evil spirits of the internet. So, but Tom, I'm so happy that you came here tonight. I know you're really busy. You got a new job. Your kid's got his birthday coming up and stuff. We didn't even talk about that, by the way. We'll talk about that next time. But yeah, dude, thank you so much for staying up tonight. And Faders, thank you so much for getting faded with us. And I hope you drank as much booze as I did tonight. Hell yeah, I fucking got lit. But it's my birthday week, so I'm supposed to get my fade on. So yeah, thank you so much for that. And Faders, we'll catch you next time. Oh, and be sure to tell a friend about Got Faded Japan, you know, because the more people you tell, the better it is, because more people like start listening to the show. And also, we are all over the internet, especially on Instagram. We are blowing up on Instagram. Did you know we went viral last week? We had a post that got 1.5 million views, which I thought was pretty cool. Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Well, shit, that Tom's not here anymore. Anyway, Faders, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll definitely see you next time. Peace.
My own brother, a goddamn shit-sucking vampire. Will you wait till Mom finds out, buddy?
I've got a government job to abuse and a lonely wife to fuck.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
God, the pressure! I can't take it! I can't take it! I can't get to it!
You sure excuse me?
We're going drinking! We came, we saw, we kicked his ass!
Your move, creep.
Oh, man. I will never forgive your ass for this shit. This is some fucked up repugnant shit.
Ah, fuck it, dude. Let's go bold.